going to show you how to do a face swap. So the first thing you're going to do is locate two high quality images online. When you're looking for two images, it's important to make sure that your people have roughly the same complexion and are looking basically in the same direction. So I've chose Kim and Kanye West to make my face swap. So the first thing I'm going to do is take my bottom layer, which I'm going to make Kim the bottom, and I'm just going to drag her into the Photoshop down at the bottom on my dock. I'm going to let go, and it should open a file with just your image. The next thing I'm going to do is grab Kanye and put him right on top of Kim. So the first thing I'm going to do is go ahead and click enter. And now all I can see is Kanye on top of Kim. So after you hit enter, you're going to grab your lasso tool, which is the third tool down. And what you're going to do is you're going to make a selection around as much of the face as you can. So I'm going to grow from his brow line. Once you've made your selection and let go of your trackpad, you'll notice that there's marching ants all around the area that you selected. You're going to go ahead and click Command C to copy and then Command V to paste. When you paste, your face won't look like anything happened to it. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is take Kanye West, and I'm actually going to delete him. And what you'll notice will be left within our layers palette is a background and layer 1. Next, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to click on layer 1, which is Kanye's face. I'm going to lower my opacity so that I can see through it. I'm going to hit Command T so that I can transform his face and have it match up with Kim's. Now, what's going to be important here is trying to get the eyes to match up as well as the nose and the mouth. So first I'm just going to go ahead, I'm going to shrink it. I want to make sure I'm going to get full coverage on the face here. So if you notice your image is just moving in a square and you need to make it a little bit fatter or taller, go ahead and hold Command and you'll be able to change the proportion of your person. Or you can always hold Shift. And Shift will allow you to make it taller or fatter. So this is pretty close to covering Kim's face perfectly. So the next thing I'm going to go ahead and do is hit enter to say that the selection is okay. And then I'm going to hold Command and I'm going to take my mouse and I'm going to click over here on the layer thumbnail. It's the little image of Kanye's face. And what you'll notice is that there's marching ants all around Kanye's face. Next, I'm going to go to Image Adjustments, Match Color, Image Adjustments, and I'm going to Match Color. And my source is going to be Kim, and the layer is going to be the background. So you'll see when I change it from layer 1 to background, Kanye's face over here lightens, and that's exactly what we want. So I'm going to go ahead and click OK. And then I'm going to hit Command D to deselect. Next, I'm going to be clicked on my background layer, and I'm going to hit Command J in order to duplicate my background layer. I'm going to now Command click on Kanye's face once again. I'm going to go to Select, Modify, and I'm going to contract. I'm going to start with 5 pixels. That actually looks pretty good for me because it's not really hitting the beard and it's removed that little piece of hair that I had over there in the selection. If you need to do more, or you can always do less. Now what we're going to do is we're going to click on the body layer over here, and I'm actually just going to go ahead and click delete. And you won't notice anything on your large image change. Nothing over here will change, but if you see in the little thumbnail over here, it's important to notice that Kim is now have is a white spot on her face, and that means that we've deleted her face on the background copy. I'm going to hold shift. So right now I'm clicked on the background copy. I'm going to hold shift and I'm going to click on layer 1. So what you'll notice in my layers palette is that layer 1 and background copy are both light gray, which means I have them both selected. I'm going to go to edit and I'm going to auto blend the layers. Okay, we want to make sure it's panorama. Click OK. And now I'm going to hit Command D to deselect. I'm going to turn the opacity back up on Kim's face. And if you'll see, there's like a little line outside. What we're going to do next is we're going to zoom in and we're going to try to blend together our two faces. So when blending together, you can use the clone stamp tool. And how that works is that you hold Option, you pick a source point. So I'm going to pick his goatee. And now when I color in, okay, it's pulling the goatee. And what I want to do is I'm going to lower the opacity actually, because I want to start to blend these together. And I want to make the line look not so different. So every time I pick a new source point, I hold Option, click, let go, and then you'll notice wherever that X is, that is where I'm pulling information from, and I'm cloning, actually cloning that area. Okay. And just do your best with the blending. It is a little bit difficult. Okay, so that's one way to blend. And maybe I could have brought Kanye's mustache a little bit further down. But I just want to make sure that this line is as faded as possible. And so I'm Option clicking new source point. Make sure you zoom out once in a while. Now it looks a little bit funny, of course, at the bottom of the goatee. So I could always go ahead and grab the Band-Aid tool, which is a healing brush. You could use the spot healing or you could use the healing brush. And again, I can just zoom in and you can try to heal over it. Again, Option click for the healing brush. And what it'll do is it'll blend for you. And in this scenario, the goatee is going to be hard to make look good. Or you can use the spot healing, which will just take information from the surrounding area and it will try to fix it. Now in this case, it's not really, didn't do a great job over there, so I'm going to Command Z and undo. But I am going to go ahead and fix this up a little bit, so at least it looks even. And when you zoom out, you have your person. Do your best to make it look like a smooth transition. And if you think that what you did didn't really help, you can always Command Z and undo. Just appears that Kanye has a little bit of a spotty goatee. Once you're happy with your selection, what you're going to do is File, Save As. Please always save it as a Photoshop file, last name, _ face swap, Photoshop file, save, okay. Then we're also going to save another one, save as, and this one you're going to save as a JPEG, save, high quality, okay. And now I'm going to do File, New. I'm going to make my new file in inches, maybe about 15 by 15, so it should be a perfect square. 300 resolution always, and I'm going to go ahead and click OK or Create. I'm going to take my JPEG and bring it into here. So I'm going to grab my JPEG and drop it in there. And for the final step of this project, I'm going to go ahead and click Enter. And if you remember from before, Command J copies layers. So I'm just going to hit Command J, copy, Command J, that should copy it again, and Command J, which should copy one more. So you're going to end up with 4 of the same image. In order to get the paper the right size, I went to the crop tool. I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to crop so that I have everything in frame. And the final step of this is to imitate what Andy Warhol did. And what we're going to do is we're just going to go ahead and play around with the layers. So for each layer, okay, so each one of these 4 images, I'm going to go to filter, and I want you guys to pick a different filter for each layer. So for this, I'm going to maybe go to the filter gallery. Okay. Play around a little bit with it. Once you're happy with your selection, go ahead and click OK. And that will be 1. Then you're going to click on your next layer, filter. Go ahead and choose whatever filter you want. I always like to go to filter gallery. Sometimes I see it easier to see. Go ahead and click OK. So that'll be number 2. Click on your third one, filter. Okay, these ones are going to be automatic down here, so just know if you pick them. Oops. Sometimes it'll give you the option to play around with it, so make this smaller. What you'll notice that did that blurred around the body. I'm going to go to my 4th one, filter, filter gallery. And once you have all 4 with filters, file, save as. This you can save right away as a JPEG as long as you don't want to edit it again. Last name, swap, filter. Save it and upload it to Google Classroom.